Hi, this is a GMAT question from gmatquestions.org. For which of the following inequalities is x squared minus 2 less than negative 1? Now, notice that we now have a quadratic inequality. We don't have an absolute value here, rather something that looks like a quadratic equation inequality, because you have x raised to the power 2. It's going to be very similar to the work we have done with absolute value being less than a certain number. Okay, so make sure you watch what we are doing, because it's going to be consistent with what we have done so far. In general, when you have x squared, now I don't put an a here. Usually you have a coefficient that is not equal to 1, but basically to simplify the whole thing, imagine we have a coefficient of 1 here and plus bx plus c less than 0, and that we can factor out this inequality by saying that x minus x1 times x minus x2 is less than 0, and x1 and x2 are the roots of this basically equation. If we were to write x squared plus bx plus c equals 0, x1 and x2 would be the solution to that equation. Okay, so we can factor this out by using the roots. Then the solution set of this would be x1 if x1 less than x2. I'm assuming that x1 is less than x2. It could be x2 less than x1, but here I'm assuming that x1 is less than x2. Then the solution set is such that x is trapped between x1 and x2. Okay, so remember this. X is trapped between the two roots if you have an inequality of this kind. If you have x squared plus bx plus c greater than 0 or greater than equal to, in that case, x1, rather x is less than x1, or x is greater than x2. The same thing here. The only difference is that x is outside. X here is outside the boundaries. Imagine that x1 and x2, the roots are the boundaries. In the case when you have a less than 0, x is trapped between the boundaries, which are the roots. But here x is outside the boundaries, the roots. In a previous question involving absolute values, the boundaries were a minus k and a plus k. But here the boundaries are the roots. Okay, remember? If you want, I can write it. The boundaries here are the roots, okay, of x squared plus bx plus c, okay, equal to 0. If you were to do this equal to 0, okay, that's the boundaries. So this is going to help you. This is definitely going to help you. It's very consistent with what we have done so far. Another thing I want you to notice is that here we have a 0 on the right side. When we dealt with the absolute value of something less than k, the k wasn't 0. The k was a positive number. But here we have 0 on the right side. And it's very important. You want to make sure that when you are solving this type of inequalities, you have 0 on the right side. Okay, that is really the huge difference, because when we have 0 on the right side, we are dealing with the sign of this equation, what sign it is, and it's much easier to solve this type of inequality when you have 0 on the right side. Okay, great. So let's solve this question at hand. So here we have x squared minus 2 plus 1 less than 0. You see, I put 0 on the right. This is x squared minus 1 less than 0. And what we need to do is we need to factor this out. We need to find the roots, and the roots actually are known. This is a difference of two squares. This is x plus 1 times x minus 1 less than 0. You should know this by now with factorization. Okay, 1 being just 1 squared. Okay, so the game is essentially over here. The roots are negative 1 and 1. You know, so negative 1 should be less than x less than 1. Negative 1 and 1 are the roots easily, and x must be trapped between those two roots as we said here. Okay, okay, that's the roots, and that's it. D is the correct answer. Okay, great. Thank you for watching. This is a GMAT question from gmatquestions.org.